Most of us are fortunate in our lives to have people or special people or a person that we can count on, look up to, and emulate. Mama Sunny was just such a person for me, and probably many of you. As I remember, she smelled of Esther Lauder. And Sunny never colored her hair. She just tinted it. She taught me that we don't fart. Just so you want to know, Mama Sunny, we called them Mama Sunnyisms. Maybe you could refresh us with a few of your own. Things like, well, that would just frost you. Wouldn't that just frost you? I was just enjoying that. Heavens to Betsy. I hated that with a purple passion. The Queen of Sheba. You are on my list. Par for the course. Fiddle-dee-dee. Now I can see, said the blind man. And oh, goody, goody, goody. If you acquired something new, the first person that you wanted to bring to show it off to was Mama Sunny, especially if it was something like a new car. Mama Sunny would get in there and she'd just let you show all the bells and whistles. I can remember one time when Aunt Becky brought 3 new, beautiful business suits over to Sunshine's house, where she exclaimed, Sunny just had a fit over them, and then made Becky have a fashion show. She would be just as excited for you as if it was her something that she had gotten new. And I can still hear that cute giggle. I'm told that growing up with Mama Sunny was fun. No, I'm talking about fun. It was the lake every weekend and packing a big, huge picnic basket complete with potato salad and fried chicken. Don't forget those scrumptious desserts. She loved driving out in the country. Well, she loved letting her kids drive in the country. The kids would drive on her lap when they were 3 and 4, but by the time they were 7, they were driving all on her lap. Oops, brake! And the family would load up in the car and they'd all go out to the drive-in movie. First, when the kids were so little that they would go in their PJs, and as they got older in their play clothes, Mom would just throw down a nice blanket and she'd bring all the food. It's been expressed to me that growing up with Mama Sunny made every day and every weekend just like it was a big party. We called Mama Sunny party girl. She loved throwing parties, whether it was your birthday or your anniversary. She was always making you special for that moment. She was strict too. Her kids always made their bed, because if they didn't, they'd catch it big when they got home. And when her kids were sick, Mama Sunny would take extra special care. She'd bring the boys out to get a model car, or maybe Carolyn to get a special treat. And she took tender, loving care to ensure that they were comfortable. Well, that encouraged her kids to want to stay home from school. Hal would actually go down the stairs on the way to school, walk down the sidewalk with his head hanging low, walking back and forth as she watched from the second-story window. When Hal knew that Mom was watching, he'd act especially pitiful. She finally would call him in and let him have the day off from school. It worked. Mama Sunny would be your very best advocate. If someone crossed her children or her loved one, they had better watch out. She had your back. Well, until you arrived home, then you might get in trouble. I met Mama Sonny when I was Milton's girlfriend in 1976. Most likely, not the best time in Mama Sonny's life. Sonny was battling a disease that runs on both sides of my family, alcoholism. She wore her disease well, and as a matter of fact, I probably wouldn't have even noticed it, except it was pointed out to me. She supported Milton and I as we became engaged, and when we got married, she welcomed me into her family as one of her own. On our first anniversary, June 25th, 1978, Sonny found herself in a pickle. She went to rehab. Well, she only stayed in rehab for about 10 days, when most people have to go for about at least a month. Sonny found the strength to overcome an awful monkey and begin a new sober life. Funny, before her recovery, I told Milton, if we ever have kids, I'd never allow her to take care of them, unless I was there. But thank God for her recovery. I was so blessed. She showed me just exactly what it was to be an overcomer, and to think of all the things I would have missed. Milton and I we continued on in our marital bliss, and we have 3 beautiful children, Josh and Annie and Kitty. Mama Sonny, in her new, rejuvenated self, began to show me just what the love of a grandmother was. Since I didn't live near my own grandmothers, and I never had, I had few personal memories of grandmothers. Soon I discovered just how much love a woman could put in her heart and soul in the children's lives. Watching her gaze at my babies, exclaiming how wonderful it was to be a grandmother, and caressing her little sprites just filled me with tender affection. It was contagious. I found out that grandmothers cook special delights like Care Bear waffles and mini cheesecakes just for their little mini-me's. I found out that grandmothers take their baby's side when your kids may have made a mistake. Well, sure, he didn't need to do that. Don't worry, she'll clean it up. I found out that grandmothers pray, and they pray hard when their grands are sick or having a rough time. Mama Sonny was my mother-in-law. Oops, did I say that? She was my mother-in-law. To think that I look forward to being with my mother-in-law. How many people can say that? We would get a long weekend off of work and we'd load up the car with the kiddos and we'd get out there to country air. It was our favorite destination. Josh and Annie may not remember all those treks from Fort Worth to Marshall, but I have the route memorized. There are always fun things to do at Mama Sonny and Papa's. There was a humongous sandbox, a tree swing, a porch full of toys, and a playful goat named Maynard. Often other cousins would be there. Life just didn't get much better. My mother-in-law taught me how to be a pretty good mother-in-law too, I think. Mama Sonny did her best not to interfere in our marriage, and she didn't undermine my authority with my children. My mother-in-law was my #1 encourager. She seemed to approve of everything I did, no matter how smart or dim-witted that idea or project that I came up with was, well, at least to my face. She told me that I was the hostess with the mostest. I believed her. She gave me self-confidence. She gave me assurance. She gave me poise, all of those qualities that she had in herself. I felt truly treasured by her. She helped mold me into the woman I am today. And it may sound strange, but Mama Sonny taught me what it was like to be with a family. Now that I was a Greer, I was able to go to the Reynolds gatherings. I saw how Her mother was revered as a matriarch of the family. I witnessed a multitude of aunts and uncles loving each other, and Mama Sunny loving each one in their own special way. I witnessed Mama Sunny packing up a car full of delicious treats, forever dressing up with her perfect hair up, perfect makeup, and nails and toenails, laughing and smiling and listening and sympathizing with a lot of you and me. I saw her adore and depend on Roy. She would sweetly tease and fuss in her typical two-syllable Roy fashion. Nobody can do it just like her. As my children grew into adults, they observed Mama Sunny and Papa's love. A sweet little kiss here, a comment there. They couldn't help remark about how sweet they were. They could see them. We loved being with Mama Sunny and Papa. They were so very, very helpful. When I began working and Kitty came down with a fever, we'd call them at the break of dawn to meet us halfway between our homes, and they would care for our sick little girl. I wonder if Kitty was pulling a Hal. More than one special Christmas Eve, they came and spent the night at our home, just so they could be there when the kids woke up to see what Santa brought. She giggled and laughed and oohed and awed. She brought special homemade Christmas cookies, and sharing the excitement with them made the holidays so very extra special. Oh, she was creative. She'd create flower arrangements, she'd place candles, and create an elaborate setup of a table for special dinners. On Carolyn and Hobie's 30th anniversary, she came up with this idea to go over and decorate the inside of the cabin of their boat. She had candles burning and pillows placed everywhere. It was a romantic getaway. She got us all excited, and everyone was in on the project. We could hardly wait for Carolyn and Hobie to arrive. And she would just giggle and jump up and down and clap in her sweet way. And we all felt her excitement. It was contagious. She even made me, she created a pillow corsage for me when Annie was born, which I had never heard of a pillow corsage before. It was made with pink, soft pink, beautiful roses. She pinned it to my pillow, knowing just how happy I was to have a beautiful baby girl. It really goes without saying how beautiful she made every holiday. She would create treasures for her grandchildren. They can keep them and cherish them forever. Ceramic Easter bunnies and small stuffed Christmas trees, aprons, she even made a toilet seat when he lifted it up. What did Santa say? Something. Ho, ho, ho. I think you're right. She was very creative. Mama Sunny practiced what she preached. I saw her reading her daily devotions and her Bible verses up to the time that she could not read any longer due to her blindness. You know, in 1988, Sunny went back to school and finished a college program to become a drug and alcohol counselor at the age of 62. Now that's courageous. That's brave. I love the word picture she painted for me regarding her alcoholism. I never want to get back on that merry-go-round. It's too hard to jump off. She poured her life into her ministry, helping drug and alcohol-affected souls with the same warm encouragement that Mama Sunny gave to all of us. She also volunteered at her church. She was the president of her Ladies Guild and probably held every single office they had there in Jefferson, Texas. She even continued her ministry long after she wasn't mobile by telephone. Watching her determination and her ability to overcome and to keep learning served to help me when I decided to go back to school in my late 40s. And I finished my degree when I was 51. Mama Sunny was just such a person for me, and probably for most of you. Today, she encourages you and me to remember the fun, to encourage each other, to overcome adversity, to be creative, to continue to excel, to minister to others, and to adore your family. Today, you may have a monkey on your back. You may need to be brave and courageous. Maybe you've been skipping the fun in your life, or you forgot the value of encouraging others. Perhaps it's time for you to begin a ministry or create a masterpiece. You may need to realize that it's time again to adore your beautiful family. All you need to do is remember the best of Sunshine Greer, copy that sweet memory, and let Sunny's life flow through you.